because he's witty and he's always like up to something, and he's always thinking and asking questions at certain moment and unexpected times. So that is one of those things I like. Hey guys, and welcome back to my new video. I hope everyone's doing absolutely fine. For those who are new to my channel, I'm Divya, and you will find book reviews, unboxing vlogs, and a lot many other fun stuff related to books and fandom. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can hit the subscribe button. And now let's start with this video. So I know I'm doing a book review after so long, but this was the perfect time to review Hercule Poirot's Christmas by Agatha Christie. So I started reading this book on 22nd of December, and I could have like finished this book in a couple of days, but I delayed it further because if I have to like show you index of the same, so the all parts were scheduled from 22nd December till 28th December. So I thought let's take it slow and read this book and just take the most out of it. So I read all those chapters on the specific dates and synced my reading speed with the same. So I finally read this one. That's the reason I'm shooting it on 28th of December, and this video will go up by the end of this year. I wish so, fingers crossed. So let's see. So first and foremost, let's talk about this edition a bit. I know it looks very pleasing to the eyes, and that's the reason I got this book. I have majority of my Agatha Christie books in paperback and mass market paperback. That too were like majority are second hand, but I still have these type of editions. I think this is the third one in my collection that is a hardcover, and it is a facsimile edition. As you can see the cover of the same. So this was launched by HarperCollins. Like they completed 200 years in international publishing, and that's the reason they released these books, 25 major books of Agatha Christie. And yeah, I am in love with this book, but kinda hate this like limited edition sticker. But anyhow, this cover is amazing. As you can see, gives a lot many Christmas vibes, and that's one of the reasons I'm reviewing it on this Christmas. So that was a little information about this facsimile edition, and these are exact replicas of the books that were published way back in 1900. So it's the exact replica of the same, and all the other things inside this book are similar to that of those books that were published, and the cover is absolute similar to the same as well. So talking a little about this book, so this book is set in England, where lives Mr. Simeon Lee with his son Alfred Lee and daughter-in-law Lydia Lee. It's the time of Christmas, and old Simeon asks for a family reunion, asking for his other two sons David and George Lee with their respective wives. He also asks for Harry Lee, who is a runaway and left his house a long back. Old Simeon also had a daughter who passed away a year back, and that's the reason he asked for his granddaughter Miss Pilar to join them for Christmas. So all these characters come together for a Christmas reunion, and Mr. Simeon Lee have some ideas in his mind, and he's very different and intriguing character, I can say, because he's always insulting others and he's not always in a happy mood, and that's the reason he's always like fighting with his sons. And also that's a very like intriguing character of Mr. Simeon Lee. So all these characters gather up for a family reunion, and then something unexpected happens and everyone is in confusion. And these are not the only characters that are part of this book. There are a number of other characters that I'm forgetting names of, but something unexpected happens, and I won't be telling you what happened. That's up to you. When you will be reading this book, you will eventually find out like what happens. Usually in Agatha Christie books, someone dies and then comes Mr. Hercule Poirot to solve the mystery. So that's the case in this book as well. And Hercule Poirot, for those who haven't like read any of Agatha Christie in the past, so he's the detective. Hercule Poirot is icing on the cake, we can say that, and he's very well written, and he's the one who solves all the cases in majority of Agatha Christie books. So I've given you a gist of the summary of this book a bit, and now let's start with this review, and I'll be telling you what I liked about this read. So one of the things that I like about Agatha Christie is character development. So in any of her books, you will find like first 25 to 30% or the quarter of the book is dedicated to character development, and that's the part when she's developing characters one by one, and all are shown in depth, and what characters are thinking, where are they from, all that thing are done in the first 25 or 30% of the book. And then something unexpected happens, and then makes the entry of Hercule Poirot or any other detective, like for instance Miss Marple from any of her other books. So that's the part where the interesting part starts. But the first 25 to 30% like of the book is dedicated to character development, and that's the area I think she did a splendid job, not only in this book but any other Agatha Christie novel. And that's the one of the reasons I like her work a lot, because the characters are beautifully developed, their roots, culture, and every other aspect of that character is very well like captured in those moments, in those chapters. So that's one of those things I like about this read as well. So like I said, the first quarter of the book is dedicated to character development, but then something unexpected happens, and that's one of those traditions of Agatha Christie. That's the part where the book gets interesting, and then comes Hercule Poirot to solve this mystery. Hercule Poirot comes into picture, and he tries to like find and questions and interviews every other person, tries to match timeline for that matter. So he tries to find out what happened when how the person got killed. So whenever Hercule Poirot comes into the picture, Agatha Christie always gives a reference to some other books, some other case, and that's like interesting. Like if someone have read the book, then the chances are they will find that case name or some other book name for that matter. And long back I was reading one book, and there was a reference that he was planning to visit River Nile. So I remembered in that segment when I read Death on the Nile. That's one of those things that I liked, and in this book as well you will find reference to some other book, though you can pick Agatha Christie books in any order, but there's a specific like numbers on when you will open the Goodreads, you will find those numbers, but that doesn't matter much. So unlike any other book, I enjoyed this book as well, and Hercule Poirot's moments with the family members of that villa are amazing, and he tries to question everyone, and that's when the funny element of Poirot comes out. And that's one of those areas I like about Hercule Poirot, because he's witty and he's always like up to something, and he's always thinking and asking questions at certain moment and unexpected times. So that is one of those things I like about Poirot, and that was the case in this book as well. Talking about the ending, so it totally blew my mind. Like I was making so many of guesses, but I couldn't like really place what she did at the end of that book. But that's her speciality, as I've said many times in my previous reviews of Agatha Christie, that she writes these books very well, and you can't really like guess who is the killer, and that's the reason she is called Queen of Crime Fiction. This book is for those like who love crime thrillers, who love murder mysteries. So if you are one of those people, you can pick this book up. I will always recommend Agatha Christie books to anyone, and there are so many of them left for me to read. Like she wrote 70 to 80 books, and I've just read like around 10 to 12 books by her, so I can't be more excited to read any of her other works. So that was all for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, you can hit the like button, and you can comment down below your favorite Agatha Christie book that you would like me to read and review on BookTube. So you can comment down below, and stay tuned for my next videos. They'll be coming very soon, and stay home, stay safe, and bye bye.